Right now on Denver 7 News at 8 o'clock on Local 3, Colorado comes together to honor the 12 lives lost in the Aurora Theater shooting 10 years ago.
This morning, we're working to get answers after a Denver police shooting injured 5 innocent bystanders over the weekend.
Everyone was just scared. I'm just traumatized.
What the chief says will be part of an internal investigation, and
it's about better policing, better responses to different circumstances, and better community support to address the root causes of crime. Our residents should feel safe in their communities and safe to interact with our officers.
Denver's mayor backs the blue but says more needs to be done to reduce crime in the Mile High City.
Plus, a decade after legalization, you still can't get recreational pot in the Springs, but that could soon change. Here is a live look right now over the Front Range. 8:01. We do have some good news. It's going to be hot, but not nearly as hot as yesterday. Just bright and sunny out there, Lisa.
Yeah, a little cooler, quotes around the cooler. Yeah, low to mid 90s here by early afternoon. Pretty hot and sunny. 70s right now. We're going to be in the low 90s between about 4 and 5 as we do get a few thunderstorms and a little bit more cloud cover. It'll cool things down a touch, but some neighborhoods already in the 80s. Look out at the airport. 84 in DIA right now, 81 in Commerce City, 81 in Thornton, 76 in Lakewood. It's already heating up. Boulder, mid to upper 80s. We're going to hit highs right around 95 to again near 100. Now, yesterday in Greeley, we hit a high of 106. It was a record-tying high. Denver, a record-breaking high of 100, so it is a bit of an improvement. Still some triple-digit heat, though, to the southeast. So with a few building clouds, though, those numbers will drop this afternoon. Coming up, we'll take a look at our chance for storms this week, and it will get a little cooler tomorrow. I'll have your full Wednesday forecast on the Super 7 Day coming up.
For the most part, your morning commute has been okay. Adams County has had a few trouble spots, and that's where we're going to start this morning. This is at I-76 and the Commerce City exit. This is Highway 6, and there was a car that was actually on fire impacting westbound lanes. Traffic is still backed up till 96th Avenue, so something to keep in mind if that's a part of your morning commute. Now, 6th Avenue and I-25, there's been a crash in this area that's been impacting traffic for a few hours. Let's pull up our CDOT camera in the area. It's impacting the on-ramp. Traffic is flowing, but it's just going very slowly, and right now a tow truck is in the area working on towing a rather large truck out of the way. So hopefully traffic will be flowing smoother in just a few minutes. Let's go back to the map. I'll show you a few of your drive times. Southbound I-225 from I-70 to I-25, 24 minutes. That's quite a bit of a slowdown. If you're headed to or from the airport, things are flowing, not as fast as they were a little while ago, but westbound I-70 from Pena Boulevard to I-25, 16 minutes. Eastbound, just a little bit faster, going 15 minutes.
Well, we continue to monitor this developing story out of Aurora. There is still a very active investigation, and you can see the hole in the side of a house. This is hours after a standoff ended with a shooting overnight. This is from our live camera at the scene at some of the destruction to the side of that home, as detectives are still on scene interviewing people in the neighborhood and collecting evidence. There's the SWAT vehicle still on the street. And we have video from one of our photojournalists when police first arrived there. This was around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. You could see the police activity. A reverse 911 was sent out telling people to stay in their homes as police tried to get a murder suspect to surrender. Early this morning, then, police said officers fired and a man was taken to the hospital. So we will update you with any new information we get on this situation.
Denver police say they hope to release more information tomorrow about the violent exchange outside a Lodo bar over the weekend. Police were going after a suspect they say reached for a gun but shot 5 innocent people in the process. Chief Paul Pazin wouldn't elaborate on whether officers follow department policy, but said it would be part of the investigation. The chief says most of the victims are out of the hospital. Denver 7's CB Cotton spoke to a woman who helped another woman injured in the chaos. Aubriana Banks says it happened while she was running through a back alley off Larimer Street to get away.
Well, I saw blood like all on the front of her arm. Like I didn't even realize she was shot until I removed my hand, and there was all her blood on my hand, and I saw like a bullet entry hole like on the back of her shoulder.
Banks says she got help from her friend to calm the woman down and keep her conscious, and she's not alone. Denver 7 received another video that appears to show others helping another injured bystander on the ground. During his final State of the City address, Denver Mayor Michael Hancock didn't talk about Sunday's shooting. He did, however, touch on the city's rise in crime, including gun violence.
DPD took nearly 2,100 guns off our streets last year. I want that to sink in with you. And more than 1,200 guns so far this year. We're being held hostage by those who believe unrestrained access to guns is a good thing. The solution to gun violence isn't more guns.
And after his speech, Mayor Hancock said that the city will not tolerate crime, especially people carrying weapons illegally.
And we want to do everything we can to bring every tool to bear to make sure people understand there will be consequences if you commit crime, particularly people walking around with illegal weapons on them.
And when it comes to addressing crime, the mayor said the city will hire more police officers. He says the debate shouldn't be about more or less policing. It should be about better policing.
Well, it is a somber day in our state, as today we mark 10 years since the mass shooting at the Century Movie Theater in Aurora during a midnight showing of The Dark Knight Rises. Denver 7's Veronica Acosta joins us live from the 720 Memorial near Aurora City Hall, where tonight kicks off a series of community events to reflect on 10 years now of healing since this horrific attack.
And this will be just one of those events. It actually kicks off just 1 minute before midnight at 11:59. It's a remembrance ceremony again right here at the 720 Memorial in Aurora. And you see it right here behind me, 12 stones, each of those with a photo of one of those victims right next to it as a symbol and really a place to remember them. Now, all of the different remembrance events happening this week, they're being put on by the 720 Memorial Foundation. Representatives say they realize everyone grieves differently, which is why these events are so different themselves. During tonight's event, there's going to be a tour of the 12 stones that are a part of this memorial, each of those stones again representing each of those victims. There will also be a procession by Aurora Police and other first responders. Listen to what else organizers say will make tonight so special.
There's 12 stones representing each of the families who lost someone, and you'll hear a little story about each one of them. And then we will gather back underneath Accentuate, the centerpiece of the memorial, where we will open it up for anyone who has some thoughts that they might want to say.
Now on Saturday, there's going to be a fundraising 5K for a scholarship started by a shooting survivor. There's a formal reflection ceremony that's at 1:30 in the afternoon to read the names and honor the victims. At 3, a free community event that will be with food trucks, a beer garden, music, and more. And then 7:20, there will be a special audio and visual event with art representing the feelings over the last 10 years. Now, if you'd like to be a part of today's ceremony, rather tonight's ceremony, you can always come and do that in person. They will also be live streaming the event on the 720 Memorial Foundation's Facebook page as well. In Aurora, I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Thank you, Veronica. And here's a sobering image. Each red dot on this map of the U.S. represents gun violence deaths so far this year. The Gun Violence Archive reports as of yesterday there have been 355 mass shootings in the country this year. Overnight, student survivors of the Uvalde school shooting, along with families of the 21 victims, confronted school board members demanding change.
I don't want to go to your guys' school if they don't have protection.
We had people telling y'all that the doors didn't lock and y'all didn't do a damn thing about it.
Many are demanding the school district police chief here to be fired immediately. Pete Arredondo was placed on administrative leave last month. The superintendent says any decision to fire him will be made behind closed doors. It all comes one day after a report was released finding major mistakes in how police responded to the shooting.
Many Marshall Fire victims in Louisville want to rebuild, but attacks is leaving people frustrated and unsure of what to do next. Denver 7's Christian Lopez joins us live from Louisville. And Christian, those raw emotions will be on full display at tonight's City Council meeting.
Yeah, they will, Jessica, and we are approaching that 7-month mark, and you can see that progress that's been made here in Louisville. Several lots have been cleared, and now it's time to move forward in that rebuilding process. But now people are facing another obstacle, which is thousands of dollars in new building fees. Over the weekend, Marshall Fire victims rallied at Louisville City Hall, demanding that the city waive this tax. That use tax in Louisville is 3.6%, so that is an average of $25,000 per new home. Fire victims say that they never planned to rebuild, so they wanted the city to do something to help them, especially because they're already dealing with so much.
It's frustrating to have to sit and wait. I think the whole community is standing up and saying, well, of course, this is what we need. We need financial help relieving us of some burdens.
Either council can do something and pass an ordinance to rebate them, or we can go to the voters ourselves directly.
And several people argue that the city can do something to waive this tax because Superior just did it months ago. This will be up for discussion during that city council meeting tonight. We're live in Louisville this morning. I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
Coming up, it is hard to go outside with the temperatures this hot, even though it looks great right now. Lisa is tracking how long we'll be nearing 100 degrees in her forecast.
And how hot is it? Hot enough to bake cookies on your dashboard. But the real question that we're about to answer after the break is, how did they taste?